Welcome back to the Haddonfield Horrors podcast, where we review horror movies, horror movie franchises. I'm Mark,
I'm Rudy.
I'm Tawan.
and today we are not reviewing or discussing the movies. Well, kind of. Today we're going to be giving our predictions for the upcoming slasher movie Halloween Ends, which is supposed to be the ending to this new. Is it a trilogy? If the first movie is still part of the continuity, so this is technically the fourth movie of this current timeline. So it's not a trilogy. It's the ending of
Quadrilogy.
what Tuan said, and I don't know. Like I watched all the trailers, and I don't. It's given that like all the Laurie Strode stuff happens at the beginning of the movie, and then she dies, and then the rest of the movie is like Allison. That's the vibe I'm getting. What about you guys? If you have you seen the trailers, right?
Yeah, I've seen all of them.
Yes.
Like, so what's the vibe you're getting from the trailers?
So the vibe that I'm getting from the trailer is that okay, before I even begin with my opinions, am I allowed to like spoil what I've seen so far as spoilers online or no?
Define spoilers.
Yeah, define spoilers. 'Cause I don't want to be spoiled.
Not spoilers, more so like predictions of what people have been speculating as
Oh
far
yeah,
as.
that's different. Go ahead.
Okay. So from the looks of it, in my point of view, is that I'm not familiarized with the characters' names, but the guy that finds Michael in the cave, he's gonna groom Michael and help him out. Apparently, there's gonna be two killers, Michael and that one guy who saves him. So the beginning
Oh
will
yeah, I
be
saw that. I
yeah.
think I
So the
saw
beginning,
that. I saw that on Wikipedia. That one's supposed to be like a teenage killer.
yeah, like obsessed fanatic or some shit like that. So I think, in my opinion, from the trailer, based on the trailer, is at the beginning, the first half of the movie will be the guy finding Michael, taking care of him, doing the deeds for Michael, trying to kill Laurie for Michael. Laurie kills the guy just to find out it wasn't even really Michael, and then Michael makes an appearance towards like from the middle to the end, and that's when everything happens. So it's kind of, I think that would be a really interesting approach with the movie, especially it being the last one of the franchise. But yeah,
Tuan.
Yeah. Um. As far as my predictions go, like I do feel like in this one, Michael is gonna actually like die for real. But I feel like him and Laurie are both gonna die. Like, I feel like they're gonna do some way where they like die at the same time type thing at the end of the movie, something like that, with probably Allison trying to like save Laurie, and she's like on some like, no, go, I have to make sure he's dead type of shit, and then like they both end up dying or something like that.
They kind of put that in the trailer where Laurie told Allison, maybe the only way he can die is if I die too. So you might be right.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like what I'm thinking is gonna happen. I would say like at least to me, the trailers didn't seem like they gave away a lot, which like not saying like that's a bad thing or anything. It just like um based on the things that like I've seen in them so far, um, not too much to go off of, which is a good thing because I'm fine with going into it, as blind as possible, having seen the trailers and everything. But also, like, I don't know. I think just because of the last, I didn't really like Halloween Kills that much. Like, this one isn't like putting much in me to think the outcome of whatever happens will be to my liking, I guess. Um, but also, I don't even know what I would like going into this one since we already saw Lori die before. So, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that she's out of the picture. Um, but in this instance, and like the way that they've like crafted these like newer movies and stuff, I'm more interested to see how they end up wrapping everything up, and also seeing if it will be to the liking of like the fans and whatnot, which that probably never happened, but one can dream.
I mean, Halloween Kills was like a huge letdown. I mean, I would say the only thing it really gave us was a bigger kill
Kills,
count.
literally
And
kills.
yeah, that's pretty much it. Like other than that, it was just like a huge letdown for me. And like I didn't like what they did with the character of Tommy Wallace and little Lindsay. Like
Tommy was a
little
fucking
Lindsay.
douchebag.
Yeah, he was. And Lindsay was barely there, but now Lindsay has this bigger role, so now it's gonna be Lindsay. They're pretty from what I've seen from the trailers, Lindsay is basically taking Lori's daughter's spot. And I'm just why? Like why are we keeping Kyle Richards? Like, can we just please? Like, nah.
Are there
I
any more
like her character.
legacies that they could bring back for this final one?
I mean, yeah, and she's still kind of relevant because of the her whole housewife show, and she's Paris she's Paris Hilton's aunt. I guess we can keep Lindsay Wallace around.
She's an elite. Remember?
Besides her, like anybody, are there any other characters that are even left that they could bring back for this one?
I mean, the black sheriff with the cowboy hat is alive.
Oh yeah.
The sheriff, the sheriff deputy who we thought was killed in Halloween 2018, but he came back,
Hmm.
and I mean, which is quick because the doctor ran that man. He ran over his body. We heard the thud, but he survived all of that and was flirting with Lori. Like whatever. He comes back. Allison comes back. Lori comes back, and I think that's about it. I think
Yeah,
everyone else died.
yeah, out of the
Damn.
character.
Yeah, I think everyone else died, which is I guess. But for me, I don't think I have high hopes. Like I enjoyed Halloween 2018, and I had super high hopes for Halloween Kills, especially because
I don't get
it
it.
was
How come everyone hates it? Because I thought the opposite. I thought like 2018 was boring, and then Kills was more like action with as far as
that
killings and
it
creativity.
had too much going on. It should have focused on like one thing. The jumping from the Evil Dies Tonight crowd to then jumping to the hospital stuff and then jumping to whatever the fuck was going like to the 1970s
That was my
flashback, which
that
I
was the best
enjoyed the
part.
70s flashbacks. Like if
Yeah,
that was the entire movie, if y'all would have gave me a sequel that was like
70s,
just
right?
that, if
Yeah,
it was if the movie had just been that, I would have fucking loved it.
the
Which is what I
entire
think
atmosphere.
like I think I said that on the podcast episode I did for that movie was like I if it was just that I would have enjoyed it. If it was just like Lori in the hospital stuff, I would have enjoyed it. If it was just the Evil Dies Tonight, I would have enjoyed it. But it was like all three, and it was just like jumping all over the fucking place. I was like, can you pick a lane and stick with it, please?
Yeah, and it's like what they were, I get what they were going for with certain things. Like I like the idea of the whole like mob mentality thing and like the town like working together to like take down like Michael and stuff, and like they're also like it went into like basically call back to like misinformation of type of stuff and like IRL and everything, but also it just, yeah, compounded with everything else that was like going on, it just really wasn't making much sense at the end, for me. And I don't know, like, cause yeah, I was yeah, I agree with Mark. Like, I did like the 2018 Halloween because it gave me like remindings of the like original movies and everything. So like that, like I did like, but I don't know, it was just something about this one where it felt like a lot of stuff like happened, but there is no story like really happening in this one. Like in the first one, we got Michael getting out, like Lori coming out of hiding, like all of this type of stuff. But in this one, like Lori's in the hospital, so she's on the back burner the whole time. Now we got the whole mob mentality, like mob going on, but they didn't really do anything, and they all ended up dying anyway at the end. And then also we have like Allison and them trying to like fight back and stuff, and like they only existed to get didn't the boyfriend die?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the only reason they were there, so that he could die. Like it felt like a lot of stuff was happening, but nothing was really like pushed forward. Like it would be different. Like if this was if Kills was literally any other like movie. Like this is like some one-off movie. Like I probably wouldn't have had an issue with it, but because it was a sequel to like the 2018 Halloween, like I don't know, I was expecting a little more. And I get it's a slasher. Like I was okay. I'm cool with like the kill kind of stuff and like things like that. But like they said it. They said from the beginning they were setting up a trilogy, and it felt like they did the first one and then said, "Oh yeah, we got two other movies to make." So they just like put some shit on the wall and was like, "Okay, this kind of fits, so let's get this out."
Yeah, that's true.
That's definitely how it feels, and it's insane.
So like
Yeah,
changing
because
subject, but actually like still relating to the movie. Am I the only one who doesn't think that his mask now is more effectively scary versus compared to the original mask? I always feel like the original mask will always be scarier than that whole Rob Zombie Halloween version of the mask.
The original mask is the best. I think
Yeah,
that's it's just because it's just so blank and expressionist,
yeah,
expressionless. Like you can't really see like if he's angry, if he's enjoying it. Like there's like nothing happening. So
that's
that
true.
definitely freaks you out.
yeah. I'm not a
Yeah,
fan of the
there's no
mask.
like added like mystique, I guess you could say. Like the mask, like I think like we can see a little of his like eyes and stuff through the mask, and especially the way this everything's lit, since everything is like at night in these movies. Like you can't really like decipher much from
Right.
what Michael is like. Even like it's like okay, like we can only see his eyes. Actors can do a lot with their eyes in like movies and stuff. So like in this specifically in this like in this specific instance, like yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like the mask is not as like scary, but um I feel like even though I don't want to give this man any credit, and the Rob Zombie one, it kind of worked just because of how big the fucking Michael Myers was in that movie. He just looked menacing.
True. I agree. But I feel like
Yeah,
I've seen it already with that version, so it's like ugh, it's repetitive. Like the mask wasn't supposed to be touched, even though I get the idea behind it. Like it's supposed to age in time and blah blah blah, and show like his scars and whatnot throughout the entire time. But I wish they would have just stuck with that. Like those flashback scenes, they creeped me the fuck out only because Michael was his mask was like almost the original, and I'm like, holy fuck, that's scary. Like I don't know, that's just me, I guess.
and we only had that original mask for 2 movies, and then after that,
They kept
the
changing it up.
mask. Yep. Well, because they didn't plan on making more Michael Myers movies after the second one, so they told the guy like, "Yeah, you can take this mask with you after the shoot. You can keep it." So
Yeah.
I guess they couldn't call him back like, "Hey, you still got that mask we gave you? Is it still in good shape?"
Like, damn, that's crazy. It's gonna be like $500,000 for y'all.
And
Mhm.
then like, and it's and people don't even know that the mask in part two is the same mask from part one. They think it's a different mask, but it's not. It's just like the actor who played Michael in part two. He had a big ass head, so the mask just
That
it
was
was more round. It
ugly.
was more rounded off.
He had blonde hair in the second part, right? Like the Michael
No,
Myers.
that was part four.
Yes. Oh my god, that was so fucking embarrassing.
That little like 10-second shot. I'm like, you could we still saw it, but
Yeah. Well,
I think my big issue with this one is going to be the time jump. Like you're
True.
it's
telling
always
me that he went. It's 5 years in the future. And he's been dormant for 5 years in the fucking sewer, and no one like now he's just oh he's on the loose. This is Michael fucking Myers. You people, like, he broke out of prison and murdered a bunch of people in one night, and there's not some manhunt. Y'all didn't think to check the sewers. If people are speculating, the whole town is speculating that he might be underground, and you guys haven't sent the FBI. The FBI, like the FBI is not involved in this. Also,
Yeah,
I keep saying this on Twitter, and it makes every time I say it makes more and more sense. If Michael Myers is still on the loose, and you all know this, then why the fuck are you people still living in Haddonfield? Like
literally.
mm,
you're taking being stubborn to a whole new level. Like pack your
mm.
shit and go.
Like, come on, y'all. If y'all want to move, Haddonfield's in Illinois in a movie. If y'all don't want to move to Chicago, go to like Champaign, Schaumburg, go somewhere else, bro.
Go
Like
to
at this point,
Yeah,
go to Bartlett, go to Evanston, go anywhere. Why the fuck are you in Haddonfield?
not
it's
Like,
Bartlett.
not worth it.
I feel like if everyone leaves Haddonfield, Michael will stay there. Michael rarely leaves Haddonfield. Haddonfield is where he wants to be. He left Haddonfield once, but that movie don't count no more. So he don't leave Haddonfield. So if everyone else leaves Haddonfield, they will be alive. So like I have no sympathy for people who stay and then get killed. The only person I expect to stay there is Laurie Strode because she's
Yep.
obsessed with Michael. And then Alice is going to be there because needs to be with her grandmother. But everyone else, why are you still there? And what a fucking time jump. Like,
Yeah,
why?
like in 5 years' time, like y'all got the same amount of people there. That's crazy.
And he's like Laurie Strode is. I know they're not brother and sister, but still, when Laurie Strode first met this man, she was like 16, 15, 16. He was in his mid to late 20s. Laurie Strode is old as shit. Michael Myers has to be at least in his like late 60s, early 70s. I nobody
True.
wasn't doing bench presses and shit in the asylum. So how is he not some old decrepit fucking old man?
That's facts. And I wanted to go back to your part about like the police and stuff. Like, if there's an actual like serial killer on the loose, and it's some shit that like they know their small ass local PD can't contain. You're so right in the fact that nobody reached out to, I don't know, like, yeah, like the FBI, like just any higher up in that like chain of command, like type of department that can do an actual manhunt to search for him, that has like weapons beyond what y'all have. Like, come on, we get it's a movie, but like, come on, y'all. Y'all be ready to shoot anything, so y'all should just call in that order for like them AR-15s and shit.
Yeah, and I need things explained. Like, how was he able to take on that whole crowd at the end of Kills? Like,
Yeah, like it's like he got like some late adrenaline or some shit.
put back on his mask and start killing people. Like, okay, I have a question. Since this is the end of this chapter of Halloween, I'm gonna go to you, Rudy. How how would you want it all to end? Like, what's your perfect ending to this movie, to this chapter of Halloween?
I think my perfect ending for this movie would be yes, Michael and Laurie getting killed off, either at the same time or just in general. I don't want it to end on a cliffhanger because we've seen that way too many fucking times, and I feel like they might do that only for the sake of the money, and it'll always be somewhere. There's always gonna be someone out there who's gonna want to direct a new movie sequel to it, which I hope never happens. But yeah, the perfect ending would be Michael and Laurie closing off the chapter by dying and passing off the torch to what's her face, a granddaughter,
Allison.
Allison, because she'll be like the new final girl. Maybe in the future there'll be like more Halloweens with her as the new Laurie Strode. If Laurie dies off, but again, I don't. I hope they don't make more sequels because that would just fuck up the entire franchise. And the point of this trilogy really was to just make it a trilogy, like to just end it all. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but Michael will definitely come back in like 5 or 6 years. We probably they. I just hope like if he does come back, I hope we don't get another rebooted timeline.
oh
Like
goodness, I
if you
hope
need
not.
to, just go with Lori. I mean, just go with Allison. But I think where Halloween like excels and also like fucks its stuff up fucks its stuff up at that Nightmare on Elm Street and Jason don't is that they pretty much intertwined Michael Myers and Laurie Strode since the first movie. I mean, they did it more with the second movie, and it's like, And then for like 4, 5, and 6, it was all Laurie's kid, and then we got back to Laurie again for 7 and 8. So it's like Laurie Strode is like a part of this franchise, and not having Laurie when you have Michael is usually weird, and people usually don't like the fucking movie. So I think
Right.
that's like where it hurts them, because with Jason, he kills a new group of kids every goddamn movie. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Lungs,
Yeah.
lungs. As the guys are attractive and the dude and the chicks are half naked or completely naked, people are usually happy with what happened with the movies. But like you need Laurie, and you when you have Michael,
Yeah,
or you
for
need
the whole
Yeah.
a
storyline to make sense.
connection. Yeah, and you need a connection to Laurie. So like if we do, Jamie Lee Curtis says she's done. So I think like why not
That bitch
like
said that shit during H. I think was it H2O or Resurrection,
uh
and she's back.
well that's because Resurrection they were, oh, the behind the scenes on that was some BS. So that
Mm,
I mean, but then again, she didn't come back for another like what 15, like 10, 15 years. So I mean, she kind of kept her word. So,
right.
but also, well, I know when his dad was in charge, the Mustafa Akkad, he had like a strict rule that you could never definitively kill Michael Myers because he
Well,
always
Mustafa's
wanted.
dead, so his verse
Yeah,
don't
but
even
yeah,
happen.
but I don't know if his son is like following that like mandate. Like you can never definitively kill Michael Myers because Michael Myers is the money shot. So
Yeah.
I don't know, because in my perfect ending, like Michael dies, Laurie dies, and the FBI shows up and they quarantine the whole town. Everybody gotta fucking go. Like just everybody just get out. Like I want to be some big action packed ending. Like based off what they gave us last movie, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like some big action packed ending with like fire and explosions and all types of shit, which I wouldn't mind. Like go out with a bang. But like, I want them to actually definitively kill him. Like I want him. See, I want them to do what they did. I want them to chop off his head, but it actually be him.
Hmm.
Don't do that resurrection bullshit. Like
But
actually
we've
let
seen that
it
already.
be. Yeah, but we saw it be faked. Like, let it be legitimate this time. The
Yeah.
fuck it. But what about you, Tuan? What is your perfect ideal ending of this chapter?
My ideal ending is definitely a little bit what I mentioned earlier, with for sure Michael and Laurie like dying and it being definite, and just letting Allison live her damn life. Let that girl do what she want to do, go to school, do whatever, get some therapy afterwards. But it's definitely, I think those two should go. Especially like, well, not especially Lori, but especially Lori, just because um, it needs to end off. It needs to end. It needs to end somewhere, and both of them gotta go for this to be definite and for it to end. Because I mean, if if she's gone, then Michael just gonna be out here. But at this point, I would just rather like both of them to like kick the bucket in the movie, and they both go out, which I feel like it's gonna happen in like some type of way that's gonna make it like kind of fake sentimental in a sense. But
Hmm.
um, yeah, I think they both should. I think they both should be taken out and let the town live. Like shit, this town been dealing with this shit for way too long at this point. Like it's like too much. And calling back to a little earlier, um, I don't, I wouldn't want Michael to stay alive to like, I don't know, chase down Allison or something. Like this is, I would be just derivative in my opinion, at least. I would just let it end, and then probably in a good like 15, 20 years we'll get a reboot.
You mean like five? Mustafa Akkad, not Mustafa Akkad. His son wants this money. If Mustafa Akkad was alive, shit, we would have had all types of sequels in the 2000s, to be honest. But
I think it'll be less than that. 'Cause if they, unless they keep Michael alive by some grace, because I mean, if he survives this movie, it's something going on with the people of the town, and they just can't get the job done. At that point, you need to call up like motherfuckers in Texas or something. Michael Myers would be taken down in like an hour.
Oh, see, I have an idea, but I don't think they do it, and I also think other people would hate it. Actually,
What's that?
I would also hate it, but I would still do it. Like, what if we get to the end? You know, I'm taking a little part from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. But what if we get to the last shot and it's Michael and Allison going head to head. But then at some point we switch to Allison's POV and we see that it's actually Lori who been killing people this entire time. And then to they just flash back to 2018 movie and we see the whole entire time it was Lori. Michael was never there. Michael never broke out. Lori then lost her damn mind, and she was on a killing spree.
I beat
Yeah,
their ass if they did some shit like that. Oh
right.
God, I beat their ass if they did some shit like that. Oh God.
Or what if we find out that Lori's been hiding him for the 5 years? That doesn't make any sense. See, I feel like so much is missing from this trilogy with Michael and Lori not being related. Like
Not
there's so
really.
much I feel like there's so much story and connection missing by them not being related. It's also weird because for like fucking 40 years they were brother and sister for 40 fucking years, and they just like throw that out.
So,
Stupid.
so let me ask you: do you think it would have made more sense if they used Halloween 2 as a jumping off point for this new reboot instead of one?
Yes, because it's even said in the movie like why are people so afraid of Michael Myers? They only killed like four people because yes, he only killed like what 4 or 5 people in the first movie. Well,
Hmm.
six. He killed his sister. He killed the car guy who he got his jumpsuit from. He killed Annie. He killed Linda. He killed Linda's boyfriend. Yeah, that's it. He killed 5 people. So they're like, yeah, why would we be afraid of him? But like, if you take the count on the whole fucking people he killed in Halloween 2, and then them being brother and sister, but then it also like she was so traumatized and convinced that he was coming for her in 2018. He was traumatized. She was convinced he was coming for her in Halloween Kills, and it's like, lady, he don't even remember who the fuck you are. He don't even know you. Like he just out here trying to kill people. Like he don't care about you. And that's kind of why I don't like Halloween Kills. I'm just like, she's so traumatized and she's so worried about him, but he ain't even checking for her.
You know what I think Lori needs?
What?
What?
A word from our sponsor, BetterHelp.
Oh,
She needs something.
Cause yeah, her ass needs some therapy. Cause like, high key though, if I think about it, like, what if she? Okay, let's say she does kill Michael in this movie. All right, now what? Now what she gonna do? Like, I feel like you can't just get. I feel like at her big age, you can't just live life after that.
Not her big. I mean, her whole life was centered around Michael Myers and preparing her family for Michael Myers, and it's like, lady, I'm like, yeah, her being prepared helped a little, but even your daughter still got killed. I mean, that was her fault, though. Her daughter was stupid. I don't blame nobody but she was stupid.
Am I the only one who thought she wasn't dead?
Judy,
oh,
you thought what's her name? Forgot her daughter's name. You
Was
didn't
it
I,
not
think?
Judy?
No,
Oh shit, I forgot that lady name.
mhm.
that's the actress
Oh, wait, that's
name.
the actress name. Yeah. Wait, I don't know why I thought she didn't die at first. But in the trailer, I saw the final trailer and it was like, "Oh, you killed my daughter." I'm like, "Yeah, you
Karen.
did."
Karen died.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
I
sir.
mean, because
fucking Karen.
I saw some publicity photos with like Allison in the morgue. I feel bad for Allison because like, damn, your mom and your dad and your boyfriend's father all killed on the same night. Damn, that has to be traumatic.
Couldn't be me though.
Mm. I see you bought your tickets, Rudy. I will be watching
LOL.
Halloween. I will be watching in the comfort of my home on
Yes,
Peacock.
I got my Peacock subscription ready.
Oh, it's on Peacock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same day.
they
Oh
announced it
my
the same day.
god! Why didn't you guys
It's
tell
gonna be on
me?
Peak. It's gonna be on Peacock for 60 days
Fuck. Now I
on the
gotta
paid
like
tier.
get my refund. I didn't know that. I thought it was only for the first for kills.
Nope.
Fuck.
It's
I
gonna
should have
be
asked that.
They
simultaneously
trying to get
released.
them subs up.
Because
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't try to rush to the theater after work either. Now that I think about it. Wow.
Yeah.
In that case,
Yep. It's on
thank you for telling
Peacock.
me.
Well, to wrap it up, we don't know what to expect from Halloween Ends. We just hope that they stay true to the name and this shit ends because Michael old. He gotta retire or die. Just give it up.
Wait, I wanna, well, I wanna ask, do, even though we probably might get to it later, do you foresee yourself cashing or passing on it?
Based off what
Early cash or pass predictions.
I feel like I'm gonna pass.
Oh Lord.
I gotta
I'm.
feel the same though.
Oh my God.
And that hurts because going through like the first season of the show when we were covering Halloween, I pretty much I basically passed. We had a star system. I pretty much gave every movie except for like two of them 5 stars. Like only one I gave like no stars to was Halloween 3 because it ain't got no fucking Michael. And I gave Halloween 6 like 2 stars because like that whole Michael may or may not be the daddy was weird as shit. And it's just like I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to fully pass on this one.
I
Uh,
also foresee myself possibly passing on this one. Like just an early prediction, I feel like I might pass. Now, I may have to come back like whenever we do the official review of the movie, and I may have to cash it. But as of right now, I'm feeling a pass at the moment.
well, yes, I'm ops.
What about you? You think you're gonna like it? You think you're gonna cash?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna cash only because. Well, let me take it back because if it's the storyline that everyone's predicting already, yes, I'm gonna love it because there's gonna be like a big twist to it. I don't see it being like a same old Michael Myers only story. Like it definitely has to be a twist in order for the people to be interested in watching it. To be honest, so I'm gonna stick to passing. I mean, to cashing for now because I have high hopes.
Eh.
I
And I
really,
hope.
I really think that twist is gonna like make up for it. Honestly, I don't know about how you
Well,
guys feel about
depending on what the twist is and how successful it is, I may change my mind about it. So I'm just gonna, from what I've seen, from what I've read, it's probably gonna be a pass for me. But who knows? I might see the movie and I mean, because going into Scream, I thought it was gonna be I was gonna pass on Scream, but I ended up actually enjoying it a lot.
it.
So who knows? Who knows?
Oh, you thought you were gonna pass on Scream?
Yes, because
Oh,
because I knew going into it that Sydney wasn't going to be the main focus, and I wasn't sure how that was going to go because, like, out of all of the final girls, Sydney is the only one who's been in every fucking movie and has been the kind of main focus.
mhm.
So I was like, no Sydney, no good. That's kind of how I'm feeling about Scream 6, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that in January. I mean March. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
we shall
I
see.
just hope they end this right. But until then, guys, good night. Goodbye. I said good night. I meant goodbye. Goodbye. The Haddonfield Horrors podcast is a Letters to Media production.
Should we do an intro?